had reminded her of how Richard used to defend Diane against their grandmother, and she realized they'd become exactly what they'd always claimed to hate. Mitchell sent a text just saying, "Your girlfriend is badass and I'm sorry we suck." That one made Adrian laugh. A week after the birthday dinner confrontation, Adrian finally agreed to meet with his parents. I offered to come with him, but he said he needed to do this alone. He was gone for 3 hours, and when he came back to the penthouse, he looked exhausted but lighter somehow. "They're going to therapy," he said, dropping onto the couch. "All of them, together. Family therapy to work on their trust issues and control problems." I asked how he felt about that, and he said it was a start. They admitted they'd let their wealth turn them paranoid. They were so afraid of people using me for money that they created this test. And then when you passed by, not caring about money, they panicked because they couldn't imagine why else someone would be with their son, except for financial gain. I sat next to him, and he leaned against me. Mom said something that stuck with me. She said, "When you're rich, you start to wonder if anyone would love you if you had nothing. So they created a scenario where they had nothing to see if you'd stay. But when you stayed, it broke their brains because their worldview said gold diggers only stick around for money." I pointed out that their logic was flawed from the start. If I was a gold digger, I would have researched them first, found out they were rich, and played the part of someone who didn't care about money. Their test was designed to catch amateurs. Adrian laughed for the first time since the birthday dinner. "You kind of did research them and play a part, though." I admitted that was fair. But I played the part to see their true character, not to manipulate money out of them. There's a difference. About 2 weeks later, Diane called me directly. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won out. She asked if I'd be willing to meet her for coffee, just the two of us. I agreed, mostly because I wanted to see if this apology would be genuine or another manipulation. We met at a quiet cafe downtown, and Diane showed up looking nervous. She'd dropped the struggling mom costume and was dressed in her actual style. Elegant, expensive, understated. "Thank you for meeting me," she started. "I wasn't sure you would." I told her I was curious what she wanted to say. Diane took a breath and said, "I'm not going to make excuses for what we did. It was manipulative and cruel, and we hurt both you and Adrian." She continued, talking about how they'd dealt with several people over the years who'd tried to get close to their family for money. It made us paranoid and controlling. We stopped seeing people as individuals and started seeing everyone as a potential threat. I listened without interrupting. Diane said therapy was already helping them recognize the patterns, but it would be a long process to undo years of this mindset. "I'm not asking for forgiveness," she said. "I'm just asking for a chance to start over, to actually get to know you as the person you are, not as someone we're testing or judging." I considered this and then asked her a question. If I actually had been broke, if I really was struggling financially and in debt, would you be sitting here apologizing? Or would you still think you were right to try and push me out? Diane was quiet for a long moment, and I appreciated that she actually thought about it instead of giving me an automatic answer. I'd like to say yes, but I honestly don't know. The therapy is helping me see that my value system has become warped. I measure people's worth by their financial status without even realizing I'm doing it. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. My mother-in-law did that to me. She measured my worth by my bank account and found me wanting. And I swore I'd never be like her. But I became exactly like her, just with a bigger bank account to feel superior about. I told her I appreciated the honesty. "I'm willing to start fresh, but you need to understand that I'm not going to pretend to be